index that feel like readings from 100 to 115 degrees. Tonight, all of those entrances to Yellowstone National Park remain closed. Ginger Z times all of this out. But first, ABC's Will Carr on the scene near Yellowstone tonight.
Tonight, extreme weather sweeping across the nation. In Montana, fast-moving floodwaters causing this catastrophic damage in and around Yellowstone, whisking away a shed. And then this massive house crashing into the current a few hours later. The river dragging it downstream.
My grandparents were saying it's the highest it's been in about 100 years. So it's pretty crazy to see, for sure.
The unprecedented flooding forcing the closure of all entrances to Yellowstone National Park after heavy rainfall and near-record high temperatures rapidly melted snowpack over the weekend. Parts of Highway 89, the main road on the north side of the national park, washed away. Whoa! Rocks falling onto the road, nearly missing this car as it exited the park.
The rain here has let up, but you still have towns submerged. This is a road, and you can see there are cars, businesses, and homes all still underwater.
The rising waters cutting off communities that border the Yellowstone River, leaving some without power and safe drinking water. Cindy Fogarty and her family visiting from Nashville, trapped in the town of Gardner.
It was just going really fast, and the water was just taking logs down the river, and it was just really fast.
The raging rapids ripping this bridge apart.
That was our way home.
The floodwaters rushing past this building, part of its walls now gone. The Montana National Guard evacuating at least 12 people. So far, no flood-related injuries or deaths reported. Heavy storms also hitting Milwaukee, where authorities say a 10-year-old boy and 2 men were swept away by high waters into a drain.
These volcanoes may potentially erupt in the future. Shenhua Huang, a study author and seismologist at the University of Utah, said, "For the first time, we have imaged the continuous volcanic plumbing system under Yellowstone. That includes the upper crustal magma chamber we have seen previously, plus a lower crustal magma reservoir that has never been imaged before, and that connects the upper chamber to the Yellowstone hotspot flume below." According to ScienceMag.com, the finding represents the missing link between both the plume and the magma chamber, as described by the geophysicist Peter Savelli. A supervolcano has produced a pyroclastic volume of over 1,000 cubic kilometers as assessed by the US Geological Survey, and has had an eruption of at least 8 on the Volcanic Explosivity Index. Supervolcanic eruptions are exceedingly uncommon, happening just once per 100,000 years. The researchers want to utilize more advanced technologies.
Luke chapter 9, verse 49. I have come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? Alright, I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadesh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Alright, now I have come to set fire on the earth, and what if it be already kindled? Alright, now I just want to do this going into people are nervous because of everything going on with Yellowstone Park, but the scriptures is quite clear, you know. Yeah, we got this big pile of lava sitting up under Babylon the Great. That is a fact, you know. This huge lava what's it called, a magma chamber is up under Babylon the Great, but it is not going to go off until these nukes and until the chariots come, all right? Because it's chariot fires mixed with nuclear fire, which is going to destroy Babylon the Great. And I'm pretty sure, you know, something like this sitting up under Babylon is just going to add to it, but it's going to be the nukes and the chariot fire. All right? Now, Revelations, the 9th chapter, and I'm going to read, start at verse 15. And the fourth angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, a day, and a month, and for a year, for the slay the third part of man. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sit on them. All right, and this is going from all these nukes that's going to be shot all over the world. We know the majority here in Babylon the Great. having breastplates of fire and of Joshua and in brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of the mouth issued fire, smoke, and brimstone. All right. So this is describing these nuclear missiles, these missiles being shot. All right. By these three were the third part of man killed, and by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. So that's going into the destruction of these missiles exploding, right? And for their power in their mouth and their tails were like unto serpents, and heads and had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right, so that's just describing these missiles going on. All right, so it was letting you know that was going to be. All right. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented of not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils, idols, and of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, neither can see, neither hear, nor walk. Uh, Neither repented that they of their murders, nor their sorceries, nor of their fornication, and none of their thieves. So, it went to kill the people who did not repent. Right now, we're gonna go over to what I want, Isaiah, the 66th chapter, and this is just gonna reiterate that it's the nukes and the chariot fire going out. All right, Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his rebuke with anger, and his fury with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with our flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abominables in the mouth, shall be consumed together with the Lord. So our people doing wickedness, doing wrong, is going to be consumed together. All right, said the Lord. All right, and He's going to do it with the chariots and with the chariots and with the nukes. All right, that is how He's going to destroy this place. All right. So the scriptures is pretty clear on it. All right. Now I'm gonna go over and get Isaiah, the 24th chapter. Let's see. All right. Isaiah, the 24th chapter, and I'm gonna start at the 16th verse. All right. For the uttermost part of the earth have heard these songs, and every glory to the righteous. But I say, my leanings, woe unto me! The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherous, yet the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherous. All right, fear, and the pit and the snare are upon them, all inhabitants of the earth. All right, and that is what these nukes are gonna be. It's gonna be fear. It's gonna be a pit, and it's behind. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. And one thing, as you can even see, with this backdrop that was playing, that with this lava and with fire, that is like a great cleansing agent. It helps to cleanse a lot of different things, right? So once fire comes in, things can regrow back the way they are supposed to be. All right. Now, what was I? Fear the and it should come to pass, that he who flees from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be utterly taken in the snare. And the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. So this is letting you know that the earth, the foundation of the earth, is going to shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is cleaned and dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. All right, so these nukes are going to move the earth exceedingly. All right, the chariot fire, the nukes, and with the nukes going off, it says in this next verse, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and should be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So they say the earth is going to move to and fro like a drunkard. Now I can see the nukes sending off these lava channels or whatever when they go off and helping to move this earth to and fro like a drunkard. All right, but for as far as these volcanoes erupting and destroying Babylon the Great on its own, that's not prophesied in the Bible for Babylon to be destroyed that way. So it's obvious it ain't going to happen that way. But anything, it's like taking a match and dropping it off into a gas tank. The match is where the fire started to fire. But yeah, you're gonna get a much bigger explosion as soon as that match hit the gas. That's kind of going into what it's gonna be like over here in Babylon with Yellowstone Park. All right, and it should come to pass in that day the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So the people who are running the earth. And they should be gathered together as prisoners, are gathered in the pits, and should be shut up in the prisons. After many days should they be visited. So this is the Lord saying, he's going to take down the kings of the earth, these elites. That's going into your elite families, the a super elite. He's going to take them down, and they're going to be gathered together as prisoners. All right. So this is the Lord letting us know that is how He's planning to do to the leaders of this earth. All right. We're going to gather them together. Now I'm gonna go over to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 4. And his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hands, and there was the hiding of his power. But before him went the pestilence, and the burning coals which went forth as his feet. All right, and that's going into that chariot fire. He stood and measured the earth, and behold, and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered, and the perpetual hills did about. His ways are everlasting. So this is going into the Lord breaking down the ruling governments and bodies of the earth. And I saw the tents of Cush in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was the Lord pleased against the rivers? Was thy anger against the rivers? Oh, so this is Habakkuk asking, was the Lord mad at the rivers? All right? Because the great wrath he brought down on the earth. All right? Was thy anger against the rivers? Was the wrath against the sea? Does thou ridest upon the horses and thy chariots of salvation? All right, so the Lord was doing so much construction, he had to ask, was he displeased with the rivers, and was he mad at the sea? All right. Thy bow was made quite naked according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy words. Salah, thou dost cleave the earth with rivers. All right. The mountains saw thee and trembled, and the overflowing of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. The sun and the moon stood in their habitations. At the light of thy arrows they went, and at the shining of the glittering spear. All right, and this is getting into the missiles, the glittering spear. Thou dost march through the land in the indignation. Thou dost thrust the heathen in anger. So this is saying the Lord is going to destroy the heathen in his anger. Thou went forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation with thy anointings. Thou woundest the head out of the houses of the wicked by discovering the foundations until the neck. So this is the Lord saying, He's going to remove, the heads of the houses of the wicked. Right? And this is how He's going to do it. It's with the day of the Lord, with this fire, this nuclear fire, and this this chariot fire. All right, and with Babylon the Great sitting on top of this large magna chamber, it's just going to add to it. All right, now this is all right. This is Malachi chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at the top. For behold, the day coming that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud ye, and all them that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Alright, so it's in the day coming where everything is going to be burned up, and the wicked and the proud and the people who refuse to live the way Yahweh Ba'ashem wants them to live are all going to be burned up. Alright, but unto you that fear my name should the Son of the righteous arise with healing in his wings, and you should go forth and grow up as calves of the stock, and you should tread down the wicked, for they shall be asunder under the soles of your feet in the day that I should do this, said the Lord of hosts. So it says you should tread down the wicked. So this is also letting you know that the men of the Lord, the people that believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, doesn't do anything until the Lord come back. All right. So Israel taking over and all that comes after the nukes, after the chariots. All right. Once the Lord comes back and do His thing, that's when the men of Israel will begin to take over the earth. All right. And not before. All right. And so I'm gonna end this in. Let's see. First Thessalonians. All right, First Thessalonians, the fourth chapter, and I'm start at the sixth verse. All right, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any manner, because that the Lord is the avenger of such, as we have also forward you and testified. For Yahweh had not called us into uncleanness, but unto holiness. All right, so it's that the Lord is our avenger. The Lord is going to take vengeance for the people of Israel. All right, so that just gives us an idea of who's going to do it. All right, the Lord is going to take vengeance. All right. For Yahweh have not called us into uncleanness, but unto holiness. He therefore that despise not man, but Yahweh, who has also given unto us his Holy Spirit. But as touching brethren, love ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourself are taught of Yahweh to love one another. All right, so we are taught about the Lord to love one another. This is going into Israel getting it wrong, right? More specifically, the man of the Lord, the man who truly believe in this doctrine and believe in Yahweh. And indeed, ye do it toward all the brethren which are in all Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that ye increase more and more, and that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, that ye may walk honestly and toward them that are without, and that you might have lack of nothing. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning these which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. All right. So you say we are not supposed to be sorrowful, even as the ones who have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him. All right, so this is letting you know Yahweh is bringing back, the people who have passed away and went on to the spirit world are coming back with the Lord. For this we say unto you, that you be you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord should not prevent them which are asleep. All right. For the Lord himself should descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of Yahweh, and the dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. So that's people who died following this truth, believing in this truth, are going to be the first to rise up. Then we which are alive and remain should be caught up together with him in the cloud, and that's the chariot, to meet the Lord in the air, and should we ever be with the Lord. So he said we are going to rise up and meet the Lord if we're part of the whole elect and never be with him. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. All right, so that is what we are striving for, so that we don't have to go through this nuclear fire. This tongue consuming in your mouth while you're still on your feet, or whatever that's going to happen in Babylon the Great with these nukes and these chariots going up. All right, so that is what is going to bring the end of Babylon the Great, the land of the North. All right, so all this fear that this volcano is going to erupt anytime soon. Hey, even if it does erupt, it's not going to destroy all of America, all right? Because we know even that is an issue of the Lord. The Lord's got control of it. The Lord has decided that He wants written in the book that America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed by nukes and chariot fire. So that is how this place is going to go up. And with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.